it's Mocha the Cap. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming to watch my video. Hope y'all having a blessed day. Hope y'all day is going great. You know, it was a Leo new moon yesterday, and I set some good intentions, and we're gonna follow through. With that being said, like I said, I appreciate you guys coming to watch my video. Go ahead and press like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. This is my opinion. I'm not a professional astrologer. It's just situations that I've been through and things that I've noticed, and that's why I make these videos. With that being said, let's just jump on into it. If you're here today, you want to know about the Capricorn female and the Sagittarius female and how we relate to one another. I tried to do this video yesterday. Yeah, I smoke. So I tried to do this video yesterday, but I was driving and it was just too much going on. So what I want to do is try to finish the series up. We're on Sagittarius, so that means we only have 3 more signs left. Hopefully I can get this done by the end of the work week. I know you guys get tired of hearing me say she says she's gonna be done by the end of this week. It's just that things happen, life happens, and so I don't finish. But like I said, today we're going to talk about the Sagittarius female and the Capricorn female and how do we relate to one another. Please excuse my hair, you guys. I'm trying to get it right. I don't know if you guys ever get y'all that fresh wig and you're trying to figure out how to manipulate it to make it the way you want it, but yeah, that's how it is. Anyways, let's jump right on into it. I've said that 3 times already, and I know you guys are ready to hear what I have to say about these Sagittarius females. Now, Sagittarius females are very personal to me because my mother is a Sagittarius, or was a Sagittarius female. She passed away back in 2005. Actually, around this time, I think it was the 20th of August is when she passed away. Yeah, so, whew. Yeah, and as you can see, Sagittarius female, especially my mother, makes me very emotional. But the word that comes to mind when I think of a Sagittarius female is friend. Sagittarius females are great friends. They listen to you. They give advice even if you don't want to hear it. You know, we always hear them being the truth teller, and it depends on how you look at that. Because I say, yeah, they a truth teller, but only if you ask the right questions. Because Sagittarius females aren't just going to give you their whole life story just because you know what I mean? You got to ask the right questions. Like, you can't say certain things. I'm trying to think of an example, but I can't right now. But like I said, with my mom, she was just super friendly. You know, she knew everybody. That's another word you can use for Sagittarius females, is popular. They are so popular, and it's just because of that friendly nature. They're always there with the listening ear. You know, like I said, they're ready to give advice. You know, they're just like that. So let's just jump right into the stories, because with my mom, if I tell her story, we'll be talking about 18 years or 19 years worth of stories, and I can't break her down in just one story. But when I think of my mom, I just think of her just always being friendly, us always going somewhere, and she always knew someone there. And if she didn't, she would, before she left, she would make at least one friend, okay? She was that type of person. Like, she looks at you, and I would be like, stop looking at them, they're gonna think that you like them. She's like, no, I'm just looking at them, that's all. And that's just how she was. And then she'll speak, hey, how you doing? Like, that's my mom. Like, riding down the street, blowing the horn, hey y'all. Like, she literally knew everybody. And most Sagittarius females that I know, they know everybody. They know somebody. And if they don't, you know, they'll stare you down until you say something to them, or until you give them an opportunity to say something to you. So there's 2 Sagittarius females I'll tell you about. One was a co-worker. So we'll talk about how Sagittarius females, in my opinion, are at work. At work, Sagittarius females, in my opinion, are very competitive. And I say that because there was a girl that I knew, and I still know her. We're still friends and cool to this day. But we worked at a books, we worked at a Goodwill together, okay? But we worked in the section where you sell books online. And if you didn't know, yeah, Goodwill, they sell books online, they get donations, and then we would have to scan these books into the system, report them, of the, how can I put it, the condition of the book. So sometimes they would be good, bad, whatever. So this girl was so competitive because when I got there, it was me. Okay, let me break it down. There was an Aquarius female who was the manager of all of us, or our supervisor. Let me put it like that. She was our supervisor. Then we had 2 Sagittarius females there, a Leo, and a Virgo man, and 2 Capricorns, including myself. So when I got there before the Sagittarius female got there, who I'm telling you about. And when I got there, of course, I'm a competitive too. So I wanted to scan the most books and get my numbers up. So that's what I did, and I became one of the #1 scanners. But nobody, don't get me wrong, people who were there, they weren't far behind. You would probably, every day when you're scanning, you would probably have somebody else who scanned at least 5 books more than you, or you know what I mean? It was that way. So if I would scan 500 books in a day, then the other people behind me, because like I said, I did become #1, they would scan maybe 2 or 3 books less than me. So we all were working. Don't get it twisted. We were working. We were a good group of workers. So when this girl came in, this story is funny too, because they did not like this girl. She was a Latino girl, and I don't have a problem with Latinos or anything, but the Aquarius, who was the supervisor, and we'll get on Aquarius. I ain't even gonna get on her, but we'll get to Aquarius when we get to them. But basically, the Sagittarius female, when she got there was a guy that every girl at that job liked, and he was an Aries guy, matter of fact. And he was so cute. I even liked him. I even gave him my number. He never called, but I was like, hey, whatever, it is what it is. There was a Sagittarius guy that worked there too, and he told me, he was like, hey, he doesn't even like black girls like that. He really likes Spanish girls. That's just his type. So when that Spanish Latino girl got there, of course, I noticed that they were like sneaking off together and things of that nature. But remind you, the Aquarius female and the Aquarius female was not Latino. She was Jamaican. But she was light skinned too. She and the guy had an ongoing thing for a long time. They never had sex or anything, to my knowledge, but he always, liked her. So when the Sagittarius female came and she was caught like sneaking off with him and stuff, it kind of brought some tension between her and the supervisor. And I never recommend that anybody talk to a guy if they know that their supervisor likes them. But she did. And I befriended her because, she was my age, and, I talked to her a few times, and we had a few things in common, so I didn't see why not to be okay and be friends with her. So she would tell me about the guy, and he was a dog. And I'm glad he never called me, because he was a straight dog. Like, she ended up having sex with him, and then he just started treating her so badly. He's like, you could tell he's one of those guys, once he conquers you, he doesn't have any need for you anymore. So that's why I said I'm glad that he didn't ever call me. So she was, like I said, very competitive. When she got there and she saw that I was the #1 scanner, every day it was a competition between me and her of who could scan the most books. Some days I would win, some days she would win. She even went to low levels though, and that's one thing I noticed, like with Sagittarius females, they'll go to low levels to beat you in competition. So you have to be careful of that, Capricorn woman, because you'll think that they're really doing something and you're like, why can't I keep up? But it's because they're cheating. They're not even doing things the right way. She would like find books that were not good books to scan, and she would scan them anyways, just so she can get her numbers up. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the one that I work with. Like I said, to this day, she'll hit me up every blue moon on some stuff like, oh, where do you work now? And it's more about just trying to see if she can come somewhere and take over. That's how I look at her. So the second Sagittarius female that I'll tell you about was another coworker, but slash ex-girlfriend. This girl, this story here, oh my God, this girl killed me with this one. I used to work at Chili's in the airport. And if you are a server and you want to make some good money, you need to go work at an airport, because you're going to get multiple, I'm telling you, you're going to get at least 100 customers a day, and 100 customers, $5 tip, you do the math. So at this job, this girl wasn't working where I was at first, but the day I met her, because I used to do the to-go window and I used to be a server on the floor. So at this day I was doing a to-go window, and she came over, and instantly she was just like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, I want to talk to you. And I was like, how do you know I even like girls? And she was like, if you don't, you will after me. That's another thing. Sagittarius females are very confident, and they have the right to be confident. Yes, they do. So you know, I would chill with the girl every day after work. I told you, it was a group of us. We used to go and have drinks after work, and she was one of them, and she would come and we would all hang out. So as I got to know her, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I fell in love with this girl. I fell in love with her. I was like, this girl is the shit. But the timing was just wrong. I had a lot of shit going on, and I just couldn't really be in a relationship with her, but I really, really liked her. And I'll add this in here too, which this might be a little TMI, but I'll just keep it real. This girl, let me tell you something. I never ever climaxed from oral sex until I met this girl. And it didn't even take her 5 minutes to make me climax. That's why I think I actually fell in love. Because I was like, this girl blew my mind. Sex-wise, I was like, oh my God, like this girl knew how to make that. She knew how to make that thing come, man. I was like, geez, you need to give a class, because they not messing with you, baby girl. If she watching this video right now, they ain't messing with you, baby girl. Now I see why these Tiana Taylors and all these Nicki Minaj's, I see why they, you know, keep their bedroom on lock, because if they anything like how this girl was in the bedroom, boy, look at here. You ain't leaving them. You ain't leaving them. You ain't leaving them. And not without a fight. Hell no. You ain't gonna let them leave you either. Not without a fight. No. And this girl turned me out, right? She turned me out. So anyway, so like I said, we dated. Then towards the end of us dating, there was another Sagittarius guy that came to come work at the Chili's, and long story short, me and him ended up having sex or whatever. And I didn't know that she was friends with him at the time until afterwards, because afterwards she tried to take me to his house. She was like, oh, I gotta go pick up something, will you ride with me? And when we rode to where it was, I was like, I'm not a liar. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta tell her. As soon as we got to the house, I was like, girl, let me tell you something. She's like, what's up? I'm like, you know, this dude who you know, this house right here, I've been here before, and I've had sex with the person that stays here. And she's like, oh man, damn, that's my homie. She was like, I don't even know how to feel. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just got to keep it real with you. And she was like, I appreciate that. So she said that she was over it, but long story short, she wasn't. And this is how I found out that she wasn't over it. There was a Pisces female that worked at the Chili's as well, and we'll talk about the Pisces female when we get to her. But long story short, I couldn't stand the bitch. And I'll break down to you why I couldn't stand this Pisces girl when we get to the Pisces female. But she knew I couldn't stand this girl. She knew I could not stand this girl. And this Sagittarius female was really on some get back shit. And maybe, you know, I'm thinking now, because Sagittarius females always say shit like, oh yeah, if a dude break my heart or anything happens, I'm gonna fuck his best friend. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get him where it hurt. And I before I made this video, I'm sorry, I used to say to myself, that's stupid. Why would you go have sex with somebody's homeboy? That's not good. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, if you fuck the homeboy or you fuck the enemy, that is some payback type shit, because I still have not gotten over that to this day. If I see the Pisces female, I just want to just because I know what I'm about to tell you guys. And she got me back good. She got me back real good. So, and I say this is how she got me back. The Sagittarius female met up with the Pisces female with the Libra female I told you about from my Scorpio story and from my Libra story. You guys all met up at the Libra's house, and the Sagittarius female ate the Pisces female's pussy in front of the Libra female and some other co-workers that were there as well. And it never got back to me, and I used to wonder, why every day when I would come to work after that, like, this Pisces female would kind of like look at me like, whatever, like, fuck you. And I'm like, what's going on here? So eventually the Sagittarius broke down to me, because she tried to get back with me, and she was like, well, before we get back together, I need to tell you something. And she's like, I ate Pisces pussy in front of everybody. So if they ever question you or anything, then, at least, you'll know what's going on. I couldn't even forgive her for that. And I stopped talking to her after that, because I was like, that's some old grimy ass shit. Like, how do you think you can come back from that? You can't come back from that. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, that's why these Sagittarius females say shit like that. Oh, I'm gonna fuck your best friend or some shit like that, because they know that's gonna really hurt you at the end of the day. And that shit did hurt me. It hurt me. Because that bitch, I couldn't stand that Pisces bitch. And for her to do that shit, that was grimy as hell to me. But, yeah. That's the two stories of the Sagittarius females that I known. And take it how you will. But that's just my little story time about them. I'm looking at this big ass wasp right now, making sure this bitch don't come in my car. But, I can't get too mad at her, because I did what I did, even though I didn't know that she knew him or she was cool with him. But I guess that was my payback for doing what I did. So, yeah, when I think of Sagittarius females, I still will say that they are good friends. They're sneaky, but they're good friends. They're good listeners. I like a Sagittarius female. On a scale from 1 to 10, how I feel about them, I'll give them like a 7, because, they just follow their heart. They follow their mind. They don't play all that, not for tick for tack shit, because they do play that, but they're just their own person. They live by their own rules, and nobody's going to tell them what to do. And so I kind of envy that as a Capricorn female, because I secretly always wonder what people think about me. And Sagittarius, they're not like that. They're just free, loving people. So that's how they get down. And I guess that's why I'm going to go ahead and end this video, because I don't have anything else to say about them. But, that's the story. Bye. Oh, once again, you guys, press the like button, press the dislike button, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Bye.